So first we will start with Nityananda Prabhu's little information about Lord Nityananda. Okay, everybody okay? So quiet. Okay. Okay, as usual, let me know if everything is fine. Yeah, don't know what happened. I need to go back to the default setting. Okay, so we had a recent festival. It's called Nityananda Trayodasi. Okay, it was Ekadasi. After that, it was Varaha Dwadasi, and then it was Nityananda Trayodasi. First of all, welcome. Okay, Hare Krishna to everybody. So we will go. I would like to spend about 10 minutes only on Lord Nityananda. Okay, who is Nityananda Prabhu? If this is your first time hearing this name, can I have a yes in the chat box? If this is the first time you're hearing. Okay, Tulsi Mataji, Ajita Mataji. Okay, so let me introduce you to Lord Nityananda or Nityananda Prabhu or Nityananda Ram. He is one of the closest associate of Sri Krishna. Okay, so when Lord Krishna comes, he always brings his friends. Okay, when he brings his friends, there will be few of them or at least one of them. Okay, so that will be Lord Balaram. Okay, so like this, this is Lord Balaram actually. Okay, this is Lord Balaram. This is Krishna. When Krishna comes, when Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago, he brought along his brother Balaram, but his name in this pastime is Lord Nityananda. Okay, so Lord Nityananda, Lord Balaram always wears blue dhoti. Okay, this time the lords came not to kill the demons. They wanted to kill the demonic qualities. Okay, so that's why they are here spreading the Nama Sankirtan. So they actually propagated the congregational chanting, the group chanting, the loud chanting. Okay, so that's why they are here. Lord Chaitanya came to spread his love through the Maha Mantra. And Lord Nityananda came as the guru to bring the devotees to Mahaprabhu. Okay, so both of them were very active in propagating the Sankirtan, Nama Sankirtan. But who is he really? Okay, he is none other than Lord Balaram himself. Okay, in Ram Leela, Lord Balaram came as, this one, Lakshman. Okay, and then in Krishna Leela, he came as Lord Balaram, came as the elder brother. Okay, even though it was Krishna who appeared first, and then through Krishna, Lord Balaram appeared, and through Lord Balaram, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, we have all this information in Bhagavatam. So there are 4 expansions of Krishna. So Krishna expanded to these 4 expansions through Lord Balaram. Okay, so that's okay. If you don't remember, that is really fine. And that was this is in Treta Yuga, this is Dwapara Yuga, this is in Kali Yuga. Okay, so in Kali Yuga, the demons are too many. You cannot go and kill all the demons. Cannot. It's not possible. So what can we do? Have to bring out the demonic qualities from the root. So the best way to kill these demonic qualities is with the cleansing power of the Maha Mantra. So the Lord came to spread his own name, and his assistant also came to spread the glory of the Lord. So they are called Gaura and Nitai. Gaura means gold. So when Krishna came, he came in golden complexion. Okay, so he's called Gaura. And Lord Balaram came as Nityananda. So that's why we are calling him Nitai Lord Nityananda, Nityananda Ram. Okay. And see. Okay. So this is how Balaram came as Lakshman. Balaram came as Balaram. Balaram came as Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Ram. Okay, whichever way. Okay. What else? Right. Okay, so like I mentioned just now, Lord Krishna has 4 original expansions. This is in Canto 1, Chapter 2. Okay, he expands to Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. So all expansions comes from Krishna. Okay, he first expands to Baladev or Balaram, who is considered Krishna's second body. Okay, second body. Okay, and brother. It's called brother. Then Krishna, through Lord Balaram, expands to Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So this is how he expands. Okay. Through Sankarshana comes Narayana, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and Shirodakasai Vishnu. Okay, these are all in Bhagavata. If you don't remember, that's really fine. It's in Canto 1, Chapter 2. And Lord Balaram also expands into the great serpent known as Ananta or Seshanaga or Adisesh. What are the names? Yeah, these are the main names. It's a snake. Okay, basically he's a powerful, mighty snake with unlimited hoods with jewels on the top of the head, and he serves the Lord like this. Okay, goddess of fortune serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Adisesh is here. All right. So that's a little bit of background of Lord Nityananda. Okay. Now back to background of Lord Balaram. Now back to Lord Nityananda, who is Lord Balaram himself. Now, it is said Mahaprabhu cannot be approached or understood without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Why? Because Nityananda Prabhu here is playing the role of a guru, cardinal guru, the beginning of guru, sometimes we call Adi Guru of all the universes, and serves as an intermediary between Mahaprabhu and his devotees. And he was instrumental in spreading the Yuga Dharma of Sankirtana. He brings all this devotees, come chant. It was mentioned that the story about Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu is written in another set of scriptures called Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Srimad Bhagavata, it's about Krishna, 5,000 years ago punya story. 5,000 years ago story is Srimad Bhagavatam. And 500 years ago story is written, is documented in the form of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, so why Lord Nityananda is so special? His position is very, very special. Why is he said that he is more merciful than Mahaprabhu? Well, if you remember the past time I mentioned about Jagai and Madai, these two guys, they are drunkards. Okay, they have performed all kind of sinful activities one can think of. Okay, and one time, Lord Nityananda and another friend, he's called Haridas Thakur, they were going door to door. You know, they were said that when they knock on the door, people's door, when people open the door, there won't be anybody there. Why? Because both of them will be on the feet of the people, the owner of the house, begging them, please chant Mahamantra, please chant the holy name of the Lord. They'll be begging the owner of the house, everybody that they meet. Okay, so basically they are distributing the Mahamantra so freely, because initially the Mahamantra was kept exclusive to the Brahmanas alone. Only the learned people will be chanting it. So initially it was Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So when the Mahamantra was distributed by Mahaprabhu that way, So the Brahmanas made a fuss. Oh, how can you distribute this Maha Mantra so freely like this? It is not for everybody. Not everybody is qualified to do this mantra. You have to be like this, pure and highly learned. Oh, then Mahaprabhu said, oh, okay, so that is your problem, right? Okay, now I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it to Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So like this, he changed. He put the Hare Krishna in front and he distributed the Maha Mantra freely to everybody. So like that, Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is another glorious story. He was actually a Muslim, but after he got after he became, started associating with Mahaprabhu, he started taking up millions, the chanting he took up in millions, millions in number. So, Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur was going to this place to place to preach about this, the glory of the holy name, asking everybody to chant, and then they come across these two people. Before they came here, a lot of people told them, do not go there, do not go there. These people are very notorious. They're very atrocious. They might even hurt you. So Lord Nityananda was very merciful. It's okay. I'm still going to go and tell them to chant. All the more they need to do it. So they went. So there were some discussions going on, but it got heated up. And one of them took a pot, because they were drinking from the pots, right? Alcohol, right? The intoxicants. They took the pot and they threw it on Lord Nityananda's head and broke the pot, and Lord Nityananda's head started bleeding. And the servant ran to Mahaprabhu and said, Mahaprabhu, somebody, this Jagai and Madai, they found trouble with Lord Nityananda and they broke his head. Mahaprabhu was a very, very, very patient. He was like love embodiment, He was not like Krishna, quickly take something and kill demons like that. He was very merciful. But when his devotee was hurt in such a manner, that's it. The Lord can even, tolerate offenses made unto him. Remember the Sisupala story? He can tolerate whatever the person has done directly to him, but he will never tolerate if his devotees was hurt. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, there was a verse, Krishna said, I will never let my devotees perish. He ran to that place, and Krishna being Krishna, Mahaprabhu being Krishna, he raised his hand, he called his chakra, and chakra came, and he wanted to smash these two, Jagai and Madai. But Mahaprabhu, like Lord Nityananda said, Mahaprabhu, please stop. Stop. You are not here to kill the demons. We are not here to do business. We are here to deliver them, to destroy the demonic qualities that people have. Like this, you cannot go on killing everybody. In Kali, everybody has the demonic quality in everybody, in themselves. You cannot kill by killing the body. You have to kill the qualities. So we are here to deliver our mercy, to all the fallen souls. So like this, Lord Nityananda will plead to Mahaprabhu. And finally, it's a long story. People have done a lot of dramas on this alone. And Mahaprabhu finally forgives them just because of Lord Nityananda. So like this, Lord Nityananda brought Jagai and Madai to Mahaprabhu. So that's his work. That's what he does, connecting people to the Lord. And because of the recommendation of his dear brother, dear friend, dear expansion, Mahaprabhu will accept it. Okay, so that's the pretty short introduction about Lord Nityananda, his glories. Who is he? He's basically Lord Krishna's first expansion's incarnation, Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram incarnated as Lord Nityananda 500 years ago in West Bengal. That place is called Ekachakradam. Okay, and his duty is to connect all the souls to the Lord, to Lord Krishna, to Lord Mahaprabhu. And he is also very, very instrumental in spreading the holy name. Okay, and as Guru, Lord Nityananda helps us to get connected to Krishna. Okay, just a short recap. Srila Prabhupada saying on Lord Nityananda, Lord Nityananda, Avaduta. Avaduta means is actually literally is a madman, because Lord Nityananda was madly in love with the holy name. He will go and chant and dance and chant like that. Okay, he's actually the personality of Godhead, Lord Balarama. Always staying among the devotees, he shines with the splendor of thousands of suns. Lord Nityananda incarnates as his plenary expansion as Ananta Sesha. As Lord Sesha, he transforms his body to become the garments, bracelets, and other ornaments worn by Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Okay, this part here I would like to explain that anything that is being served for Krishna is Lord Balaram. If you are dressing Krishna, then the dress is Balaram. If you are decorating Krishna with ornament, then that is Balaram. Books Balaram, Mridanga Balaram, Kartal is Balaram. Whatever you use in the service of Krishna, that is Balaram. So like that, Lord Balaram is always very intimate and confidential servitor of Krishna. Expanding again as the pastime potency, Leela Shakti, Lord Shesha is aware of all the details of Lord Krishna's confidential pastimes. He's the closest, he's the nearest. And he himself came as Lord Nityananda and begging everybody to chant the holy name. And he will take us to Mahaprabhu that way. Okay, so that's the end of the class for this session. We will go to Ajamila. Is everybody okay? Okay, we will move to, all right, thank you, Mataji. Nityananda done. Okay, our next story. This is one of the stories from Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has a lot of stories. Basically, Bhagavatam is a conversation between many people, but mainly it's a conversation between Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, the story went like this actually. Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days. Okay, Parikshit Maharaj was a king. Okay, and he's since he knows that he's going to die and he wants to make the full benefit of that remaining 7 days, so he went and inquired spiritual knowledge from Sukadev Goswami. Okay, so Sukadev Goswami is the son of Vyasadeva. All right. So these are the 18 cantos, 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam stories. Okay, this Ajamila is coming from canto 6. Okay, so canto 6, I think there are few chapters. So the first chapter will talk about the history of this person, Ajamila. Okay, he was considered a greatly sinful man. Okay, I will tell you why he was a sinful man. Okay, but he was liberated when 4 order carriers of Vishnu came, and they are called Vishnu Dutas. Dutas means ambassadors. Okay, the Duta coming from Sanskrit word also. Duta means ambassador, the ambassadors of Vishnu, the servants of Vishnu. So in Vaikuntha Loka, all the living entities there have same bodily features of Lord Vishnu. 4 hands. Okay, they also will have helmet, they also will have yellow dhoti, they also have the ornaments, but only thing they will not have Sri Vatsa mark on their chest. And I think also the Gaustava jewel, only the Lord will have. But all the associates on that loka will have similar bodies of similar body features with Lord Vishnu. Okay, so this chapter will talk about it. This chapter has full description of how he was liberated, even though he had committed many sinful activities. Okay, so we will see. Now, sinful activities are painful both in this life and in the next. So it's not like we are gonna only suffer. We're gonna commit this birth, and then we're gonna settle it this birth, and then we move on. So it doesn't work like that. Okay, and people also think, all right, I can perform atonements. I know I have sinned, but I can do atonement once in a year. For 1 month, I will do atonement. Then I'm back to my life. A lot of people have this mindset, right? They have this kind of opinion, perspective that atonements can clear all our sinful activities. But sinful activities lead to painful life. Okay, this is a very it's very obvious, isn't it? Sinful activity will give a painful life. The cause of all painful life is sinful action. Okay, so how about atonements? Do atonements really work on the path of fruitive work? Means whatever work that we are doing, right? We go to work, come back, we are serving people. Okay, we carry a lot of duties. Okay, so along that process, we may intentionally, unintentionally, we may commit sinful activities. So according to the consideration of karma kanda means our fruitive activities. Yeah, so different types of atonement are recommended, but actually this method of atonement, it does not free one from ignorance. The ignorance is the root of sinful life, because you just don't realize that this continuous attitude or behavior is going to result in sinful activities, and it's like a cycle. You are stuck in that cycle. You atone, and then you go back there, and then you atone, and you find atonement, and then you go back there. So consequently, one is prone to commit sinful activities even after atonement. Okay, so therefore, this atonement, they are not sufficient, not adequate for purification. So what are the example of atonements that we can think of? Performing austerities, penances, celibacy, control of the mind and senses. For example, people will have Mauna Vrat once in a week, Mauna Vrat, but what is actually the result is a temporary effect only. Okay. What else? What are the atonements? Truthfulness, speak only truth, and the practice of mystic yoga. Okay. Sometimes by awakening knowledge also, one may neutralize sinful reactions. This is the example of atonements, but it doesn't remove the ignorance from the root. So neither of these methods, however, can free one from tendency to commit sinful activities. You are atoning, you are giving a symptomatic relief, but you are not building the immune from within, right? Okay, so what's the difference between atonement and bhakti yoga? Bhakti yoga by engaging in bhakti yoga, you can completely avoid the tendency for sinful life, because you're following the regulative principles, you develop divine qualities. Okay, we discuss all this in Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? So like this, you with this bhakti, compared to bhakti yoga, other methods are not very feasible, and they do not have lasting lasting effect. Okay, so therefore the Vedic literature concludes that devotional service is more important than the methods of karma kanda and jnana kanda. Karma kanda, activities, doing activities, penances, austerities, all this. Jnana kanda, by acquiring knowledge. Okay, by acquiring knowledge, you may abstain yourself from doing something, but it doesn't last long. Sometimes you fall into the three modes of material nature, and you're stuck in that cycle again, right? So now the story is to prove the strength of devotional service. Just now you say Ajamila is a sinful person. Now, how can he be saved? Did he perform any devotional service in his life? Okay, that's what we're going to see now. Okay. Yeah, so atonements do not free us from ignorance. Right. Let's go to Ajamila's glorious childhood. So you can see a person here reading Vedas or scriptures. He's doing some rituals here. So what is he actually? Once upon a time, there lived a Brahmana named Ajamila. Oh, okay, he's a Brahmana. He was trained by his parents to become a perfect Brahmana by studying the Vedas and following the regulatory principles. So, which means he was not a bad person at all. Okay, so what happened? He was trained by his parents to become a perfect Brahmana by studying the Vedas, following the regulatory principles. So what happened? What happened after that? One time, he followed his father to the forest to collect some fruits and roots, some things for their puja. Well, what happened? He saw when he was in the forest, he saw a couple, a guy and a girl, in a very compromised situation, the dressing, the act itself. So he immediately got his lust was aroused. He got attracted to that, and then he contemplated on that, and then he started associating with the prostitute. Okay, he brought the prostitute to be a servant in his house, but later on due to the association with the prostitute, he actually engaged in sinful acts in her association. And he also had a beautiful young wife from a very respectable Brahmana family. Even he actually abandoned her. He abandoned her and he started a life with this prostitute. He had 10 sons with the prostitute. Okay, the last one, he was called Narayana. So this is a very important part here. All right. So, to sustain the family, Ajamila, being a Brahmana, their duty is only to do puja. That's their activity. That's how they earn, isn't it? So when he left that work, he lost his purity, and then he engaged in these activities with the prostitute. So what else he could do to maintain his family? He started engaging in more sinful activities. He started engaging in gambling. When you engage in gamble, you will cheat. There will be cheating, and then or by directly plundering them also. Okay, so this way he earned his livelihood and maintained his wife and children. He gave trouble to others, okay, by stopping them and robbing them, things like that. So while he spent his time in this abominable, sinful activities to maintain his family and many sons, he became 88 years old. Okay, he comes to the end of his life. Now, in the meantime, let's talk about his son Narayana. This is the last son, and he's always engaged in taking care of the child, and he called him Narayana. Okay, since Narayana was the youngest of all the sons, he was naturally very dear. Okay, I mean, Narayana was very dear to both the father and the mother. Sometimes we also have anak manja, isn't it? So like that, he was naturally very attached to this youngest child. Because of the child's broken language and, the cute movements, old Ajamila was very attached to him. He always took care of the child and enjoyed the child's activities. For example, when Ajamila chew food and ate, he will call the child to chew and eat. When he drink, then he called the child to drink also. And he always engaged in taking care of the child, calling his name Narayana, Narayana, like that. So finally, the time comes for Narayana to leave the body. And at the time of his death, something that is very, very dear to us will come, flashback on our mind. Remember, whatever mind state that we have at the death is actually a flashback, a trailer of whatever we have done in our life. It will come playing on our mind. So naturally, what came to his mind was his son. Okay. So another reason why that came is also because when he was about to die, Narayana was playing nearby. When he was about to die, the Yamadutas came. So Dutas, remember? Dutas are ambassadors. Earlier I say Vishnu Dutas. Vishnu Dutas are ambassadors of Lord Vishnu, the servants of Lord Vishnu. Now we have Yamadutas. So Yama is Lord of Death. right? So Lord Yama also had his servants. So Lord Yama dispatches his dutas to claim this very sinful people's soul to bring back to hell. So they wanted to come to take him to bring him to Yamaraj for punishment. So in fear, because it was described in Bhagavatam this way, Ajamila saw three awkward persons with deformed bodily features, fierce, twisted faces, and hair standing erect on their bodies, with ropes in their hands. Rope. In Tamil, they say pasakair. They had come to take him away to the abode of Yamaraj. So what was Ajamila's reaction? When he saw them, he was extremely bewildered because of the attachment to his child who was playing a short distance away. Ajamila began to call him loudly by his name, Narayana, Narayana. So with his tears in his eyes, he somehow or other chanted the holy name of Narayana. So the name is in secondary is the child's name, but however, it's the Lord's name itself. So he called the name Narayana because he was so attached to his younger son. That's what came to his mind. Suddenly, who appeared? When Ajamila appealed to his younger son, Narayana, Narayana, please come here, I'm dying. Okay? Vishnudutas arrived. See, Srila Prabhupada explained like this. Krishna is so kind that as soon as he heard Ajamila chant Narayana at the time of his death, he immediately dispatched his assistants, the Vishnudutas, to give Ajamila shelter. Okay? So that's how he remembered the original Narayana. He called the name of the child Narayana, but automatically we will also remember the Lord himself. Okay, so here you see, although Ajamila did not chant the holy name of Lord Narayana offenselessly, like in an exclusive devotion, he didn't chant it that way. He chanted out of anxiety, chanted out of fear, chanted out of affection towards the son. It acted nevertheless, right? There is no hard and fast rules. Hearing the name of Narayana, the order carriers of Lord Vishnu, the Vishnu Dutas immediately appeared. So here, these are the Yama Dutas. These are the Vishnu Dutas. So beautiful, like Lord Vishnu himself. Okay? Now, Yama Dutas are here to perform their duty. Suddenly got a twist. Vishnu Dutas pula came. So what will they do? So definitely the Yamadutas gonna question Vishnu Dutas. The order carriers of Yamaraja were snatching. At this time, they were snatching the soul from the core of the heart of Ajamila, the husband of the prostitute. This is mentioned because to remind us how sinful he was. You know, his activity. He abandoned his old parents. He abandoned his beautiful wife for his lustful feelings towards the prostitute. Okay, totally forgotten about the family, his regulatory principles, Vedic studies. He was also knowledgeable person. Can you see? He was knowledgeable person. But why he fell? So knowledge cannot guarantee a lot of things, isn't it? And then on top of that, he engaged in gambling, taking money from people. So like this, he was doing a lot of bad things. And when the Vishnudutas arrived with the resounding voices of the messengers of Lord Vishnu, the Vishnudutas forbade them to do so. Stop, you know. So the Yamadutas was like shocked. Suddenly, who is this? So when the order carriers of Yamaraj, the son of Sun, Yamaraj is the son of Sun God, were thus forbidden, they replied, "Who are you, sirs, that have the audacity to challenge the jurisdiction of Yamaraj?" Have we seen this picture before? Yes, Mataji, I would have touch and go in one of the slides. I would have told that maybe we will cover that next time. So now it is the time, maybe. All right. So, who are you, sirs, like that? Dear sirs. And then there were so many verses in the Bhagavatam. They will actually, they are so captivated by the beauty of this Vishnu Duta. They started addressing them like this. You know, it's so beautifully is given. Dear sirs, whose servants are you? Where have you come from? Why are you forbidding us to touch the body of Ajamila? Are you demigods from the heavenly planets? Are you sub-demigods? I am not sure what is that. Or are you the best of devotees? So, and then they further say, your eyes are just like the petals of lotus flowers, dressed in yellow silken garments decorated with garlands of lotuses, and wearing very attractive helmets on your heads and earrings on your ears. You all appear fresh and youthful. Your 4 long arms are decorated with bows and quivers of arrows and with swords, clubs, conch shells, discs, and lotus flowers. Your effulgence has dissipated the darkness of this place with extraordinary illumination. Now, sirs, why are you obstructing us? They glorify this Vishnu Dutas the way. And then Vishnudutas address the Yamadutas. So this is chapter 2 of the Canto 6. So in this chapter, the messengers from Vaikunta, the Vishnuduta explained to the Yamaduta the glories of chanting the holy name of the Lord, because they forbade them not take Ajamila to Yama, right? So they were saying, simply by once chanting the holy name of Narayana, this Brahmana has become free from the reaction of sinful life. But he was not only freed from the sins of this life, also from the sins of many, many thousands of other lives, right? He has already undergone the true atonement for all his sinful actions. If one atones according to the direction of the sastras, one does not actually become free from sinful reactions. So, by merely following the atonement given in the sastras, it doesn't guarantee you that you're cleared from your sinful reactions forever. However, if one chants the holy name of the Lord, even a glimpse of such chanting can immediately free one from all sins. Chanting the glories of the Lord's holy name awakens all good fortune. So they were saying, therefore, there is no doubt the Ajamila being completely free from all sinful reaction. Therefore, he is not to be punished by Yamaraj. He's done because he was so helpless. You know how Draupadi reached out to Krishna because she was so helpless, and Krishna comes like that. So here, for Ajamila's story, the Vishnudutas came just by the power of the holy name, Narayana. That also Ajamila chanted helplessly, but not with exclusive devotion to the Lord. He was calling the sun out of affection. However, the effect is still there. So there were long conversation between both of the parties. Finally, after listening to the Vishnudutas, Yamadutas have to release Ajamila. So Vishnudutas released Ajamila from the ropes of the Yamadutas and left for their own abode. So what happens after that? The Brahmana Ajamila offered obeisance to these Vishnudutas. Now he could understand how fortunate he was to have chanted the holy name of Narayana at the end of his life, helpless, even though without exclusive devotion. Of course, we don't want to, go towards that. We want to chant with exclusive devotion, but this is to show how powerful his devotional service that he has named. For some reason, he named his son as Narayana, and that helped him. So, indeed, he could realize the full significance of this good fortune. Okay. Now, what happens when your boss asks you to do something and then you come back without doing that? You run to your boss. Boss, I went to catch this guy, but somebody came and stopped us. He was giving a lot of explanation. So who are these people, boss? Sometimes we don't know who are these big people that we are meeting. We want to go and ask boss, who is this boss? Like that. Oh, then the boss knows. The boss knows all the bosses. For the Yamadutas, their boss is Yamaraj. For them, he is supreme. For us, you are supreme, boss. Who are these people? They were talking about the holy name of the Lord. What is this about? So when the Yamadutas were forbidden to take Ajamila's soul, they went to their Lord Yamaraj to tell him what happened. Then they asked him, who are the Vishnudutas? How could they stop the order coming directly from Yamaraj? Who is these people who, asking us not to obey your orders? We wish to know about them from your lordship. Could you please tell us who are these people? If you think we are able to understand them, kindly describe who they are. Like that. So they requested from Yamaraj. Then Yamaraj said, my dear servants, you have accepted me as the supreme, but actually I am not. Above me, okay, above me and above all the other demigods, including Indra, Chandra, is the one supreme master and controller. So here he's establishing that to the servants that I'm your supreme, but I'm not the supreme. Above me and above all the other demigods, there is one supreme master and controller. From that supreme, the partial manifestation of his other personalities come, such as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, who are in charge of the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this universe. So he's like two threads that form the length and breadth of a woven cloth. The entire world is controlled by him, just as a bull is controlled by a rope in its nose. If imagine, right, that there's a ring in the middle of the nostril. So wherever you take the bull will follow you. So like that, the Lord controls the universe, entire universe. So the Vishnu Dutas protect the devotees of the Supreme Lord, even from the jurisdiction of Yamaraj. So after that, the Yamaraj also talks about the glories of holy name. He will say that one who chants, hears, or remembers the holy name of the Lord without duplicity, or who prays or offers obeisance to the Lord, becomes perfect, whereas even a learned person, right? Even a learned person may be called to hell if he is bereft of devotional service. So nowadays we have a lot of people with full knowledge also engage in abominable activities, right? Right. So like this, there are few verses that Lord Yama will be talking to the Yamadutas on the glories of this holy name. So he will say, whoever chants the holy name of the Lord, they are not coming under the jurisdiction of my jurisdiction. Okay, so he says, intelligent persons take to the devotional service of the Lord. When they chant the holy name of the Lord without offenses, they are no longer subject to my rulings. Even if by chance they commit some sinful act, they are protected by the holy name of the Lord, because that is where their interest lies. The four weapons of the Lord, especially the club and the Sudarshana Chakra, always protect the devotees. Okay, one who chants, hears, or remembers the holy name of the Lord without duplicity, or who prays or offers obeisance, pay obeisance. Hold on, Mataji, I will address that. We will come to the last slide. To the Lord becomes perfect, whereas even a learned person may be called to hell if he's better for devotional service. Right? So I think I mentioned this already earlier. Okay, so if you want to know more of instruction of Lord Yama to his Yamaduta, you can read chapter 3. So what kind of people you should bring to me? He will also tell that. He says what kind of people you should not bring to me, and what kind of people you should bring to me. Okay, so boss already given the verdict. So after hearing from the mouth of their master about the extraordinary glories of the Lord and his name, fame, and attributes, the Yamaduta was struck with wonder. Since then, as soon as they see a devotee, they fear him and dare not look at him again. Okay, so this is actually Haridas Thakur, but we are putting it here to show the chanting brings all good fortune. So what happens after that to Ajamila? Having thoroughly understood this discussion between the Yamadutas and the Vishnudutas, so what was happening? I think I forgot to mention this. Hold on. I hope I have it here. Okay, never mind. While the debate, the discussion, conversation was going on between Yamadutas and Vishnudutas, so what was happening to Ajamila? He was actually listening to the discussion he was listening. So with that, he got how to say, the conversation has dispelled the darkness. He's got the knowledge back because he felt fortunate that he has chanted the holy name of the Lord. So he started lamenting and condemned himself for leaving his old parents, wife, and associating with such and such people, engaging in abominable activities, giving trouble to others. So he's this way. After the association with the Vishnu Dutas, his original consciousness aroused. Sometimes it's like a glass, right? You accumulate some dust on it and then you need to wipe it to make it clear again. So what happens after that? He gave up everything. So he didn't die. Okay, he didn't die. So he gave up everything and went to Haridwar. So there he engaged in devotional service without deviation, always thinking of the Lord Narayana. So he had if a bad person, after committing so many sinful actions during his lifetime, but remembers Krishna and calls out his name at his last breath, when dying, so his soul will be liberated. It's very difficult to say that, Mataji, because in this case, it looks like Ajamila was allowed to live on, and then he went on to perform his devotional services, and at the end of his life, the Vishnu Dutas went there, seated him on a golden throne and took him to Vaikuntha Loka. Now it is, if it is possible for the person who committed sinful activities throughout his life, but at the end of his life he could chant Krishna's name, spontaneously, then why not? But the question lies again back to our discussion in previous classes, that if we do not study for the exam, if we never do practices, we never practice the maths, okay, we only learn the theory or whatsoever, and then when the exam comes, can we actually do the maths? So that is a question, Mataji. So in this case, what will be helpful? Somewhat helpful will be the devotees surrounding the person who's going to leave the body with the recitation from the scriptures or chanting of the Maha Mantra, surrounded by devotees doing all these activities, then it will somehow help, definitely will help, because the soul is hearing this, right? Surely we will carry our karma, Mataji. We will. So that when we perform pure devotional service, then it will burn all our karmas, right? Yeah. So Ajamila departs from his body. I don't know what age, but after he, spent his life at Haridwar exclusively performing devotional services, then he was taken by the Vishnu Dutas. So this is the book. It is in a total extraction from the Bhagavatam. This one will be, there won't be any verses. There will be story format. Okay, so that's the story of Ajamila. Thank you, Matajis. Any questions? You all can talk. I think I didn't mute anybody, right? I have something to tell you all about the upcoming class. Can write. Okay.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes, Mataji.
Just now Ajamila was born as a Brahmanan and then he made all these sinful activities and everything. Then, but at the end of the day, because of the name that he gave to his son, he kind of liberated himself at the end, right? By calling the Lord's name. So this is called a knowingly he did the mistake, right? I mean, because of his karmas from the last birth, that even though you are born as a Brahmana and then you have chanting and then you do prayers to the Lord, yet you did this sinful activity. But what happened to the wives? What happened to the parents? At the end, they accepted him, right?
I don't remember the end of story that way, Mataji. I only read that he went to Haridwar and performs devotional because he was already 88 years old. So I don't know whether the parents was still living in that
No,
time.
yeah, I'm asking. So for us, right, we are not even close to them, that kind of people, right? So when
Close to who, Mataji?
we are not even close to that, I don't know. For me personally, knowingly or unknowingly, I may have done a sinful activity because I don't know. Maybe I have hurt people or, cursed people, my children. Maybe, you know, I always curse them. Not
We all do, I think.
right. We never curse, but we scold. We use names. So
All right.
how do we I don't know whether that is a sinful activity, even by thinking of it.
I don't get your question, Mataji. What do you regard as a simple activity here?
Okay, a sinful activity that I am asking is when a person thinks bad about another person, that is already a sinful activity. Am I right?
Okay.
Right? So we and then we do prayers, we pray, we become vegetarian, but yet we still do. How do we control our thoughts so that it doesn't go that way? Because our mind says different, our heart says different. How do we control the thoughts?
Okay. If you are fearing that by thinking bad things itself sinful, I would like to share that in Kali Yuga, in those before Kali Yuga, uh, an act is considered a sinful action when you think. When you think itself is already sinful. But in Kali
Mm.
Yuga, only when you act that is considered sin. You understand, Mataji? Only when you act upon it.
Only the actions, not the thoughts.
Yes, the thoughts, the once you have the bad thoughts, it's a sinful reaction. It was in previous yugas, in earlier age. But in Kali Yuga, it is only when you manifest it, then it is considered sinful action. However, all this action that we are doing, good or bad, it always starts with us contemplating on that. Correct or not? It
Correct.
starts with thought, right?
Yes, yes,
So that's why in Bhagavad Gita, remember Krishna gave the divine and demonic qualities.
yes, yes.
So we should be guided by that qualities. I think there are over 20 qualities under mode of goodness. So we might not have all, but it was recommended to at least have 10 of those qualities. So basically, like you want to the child is playing with a knife, but it is dangerous, so you can't just snatch the knife from the boy, the baby. He's gonna throw tantrum. So what do? You give a safe ball, you engage the boy with something else. So like that, he has to be engaged in something all the time. So why not we engage our mind thinking of the good things, like consciously you divert your mind to something good. So if
Mm,
you keep doing it,
mm.
even they say fake it until you make it. Even though
Uh,
even
yeah,
though you might not like the person, when you don't think that is being hypocrisy or what, but you
yeah.
consciously, because we are conditioned, Mataji. You know how many births we have taken, don't know what conscious animal conscious all inside our head. Right? So,
Okay.
but Krishna has given the intelligence and this word we call transcend. So you transcend the ignorance mode, you transcend the passion mode, you transcend the goodness. So you can always have a free will. You want to go to the left? All right. That's why Krishna at the end he tells Arjuna, okay, Arjuna, I've given you everything. Now it is your wish, whatever you want to do. And then Krishna never said, oh, okay, my wish, I'm not going to fight. He didn't do that. He said he
Mm,
considered all the teaching that Krishna gave. Okay, Krishna, I will do whatever you say. It's not only fighting, I will do whatever you say. So basically, we need to consciously bring our mind and engage it in something. For example, you have a youth who's doing drugs. You cannot take out the drugs and lock him in a room. No, okay, ask him to go to kirtan in a rock band and chant and jump. He's engaged in it. People will think, yo, what is this kirtan so noisy? But that is the nature of the person. He wants to be that way. You should engage him. Somehow the effect of the holy name is still there. So we cannot judge how people perform their devotional activities, because we are influenced by three modes. Some people, they have to jump and sing and dance. That's how they engage their limbs. That's fine. Some people, they just want to sit down quietly, chant. Also can.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. It's always fake it till you make it, and then don't think that, I'm being hypocrite, I'm not being myself. No. I think it's not like that, Mataji. I think it's like, I remember reading this also. What we naturally think is our nature because of our conditions, but how we change that is our intelligence.
Yep.
So every day is a battle, isn't it?
Yes,
I do.
totally agree.
First of all, we need to admit that we have a negative feelings. After that, we try to address it.
Yeah. Yes.
We are
Thank
not
you, Mataji.
perfect.
Yeah.
So
thank
like
you.
this, when we read, and that's what my guru said, when you're very, very, very disturbed, you don't want to talk to anybody, just pray and open your Bhagavad Gita, one page. You just open the page and then you read. Somehow the answer will be there for you, like that. For
All
me,
right.
when I'm disturbed, I just open any lectures of my Guru Maharaj. Sometimes I'll be thinking maybe I should, talk to my Guru Maharaj, message him. But when I open the lecture, he will be exactly answering that question on my head.
Okay.
So really, that's how Krishna helps us. Krishna
Yeah.
knows.
Thank you, Mataji.
Welcome, Mataji. How's your Bhagavatam doing?
Very good. Actually, I started reading the first one, right?
Ah,
So that's where it was quite interesting. Talking about
the creation.
the son and everything, his son, and how he is talking. At the same time, there is another Swami girl. He talks in that forest. I can't remember.
Sutta Goswami, right?
Yes. At the same time, when Prakshit Maharaj is listening, he's telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
He's also telling the story to the rest of the people there.
Yes.
It's in that forest.
Yes, actually, what happens is the conversation starts when thousands of sages will gather at Naimasharanya forest.
Yes,
I think these
yes,
are called the Naimasharanya sages. So they are sitting there to perform some major sacrifice, yagya, because that time Krishna left to his spiritual world, and they were so worried. So where all the principles of religion will go? Who will take care of it? They have basically they had 6 questions. Okay, so they had 6 questions, and Sutta Goswami will come there to that yagya. So they'll ask this question to Sutta Goswami. The Sutta Goswami will say, "Okay, I will tell you what I have heard from Sukadeva Goswami when he was talking to Parikshit Maharaj."
Yes.
Because when Sukadeva Goswami was talking to Parikshit Maharaj, Sutta Goswami was there.
Yes.
Yeah, so he was, it's more like, I heard this conversation, now I'm giving you. It's like
Correct.
that.
And another person also was there because he was like the the translator or somebody that was there talking at the forest. I can't
That's Sutta
remember his
Goswami?
name.
Sukadev Goswami?
Yeah. The one that you just said. Yes.
Yeah, Sukadev Goswami is the person who originally narrated this Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So in that audience, Sutta Goswami was there. So the Bhagavatam, our Bhagavatam will start Sutta Goswami narrating, this is what I heard. Sukadev Goswami was telling Parikshit Maharaj. Okay,
Yeah.
Tamare Mataji, thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting.
Yes, Mataji, yeah. The
Yeah.
first few cantos will be a bit technical, all the creations, everything, but later on will be more of stories.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So you also read Bhagavad Gita, one sloka, maybe one day.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying. Especially in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Try to chant, but
Yes.
take it so far it's like three rounds. In the morning I must finish.
Very good, Mataji.
Good.
Very good.
Yeah, but by 8 lah, by 8 I'll try to finish.
Yeah, I think
Sometimes
morning
I
is bad.
wake up
Later on will
early.
be difficult.
Yes, yes, that's right. Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah,
Thank
I wanted to tell the level 2 is starting on 7th March, which is next Sunday.
you. Oh, level 2?
Yeah, so there is no Chatusloki. We don't want we decided not to keep the participants wait, so we just embarking on level 2 right away.
So will we get the forms?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. We just had meeting today, 3 o'clock, so it's very, very recent only, the announcement.
But it will be on a Sunday, right?
Sunday, 7:30 also.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm. Okay, Mataji.
Okay, gotta go. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Saraswati.
I have two questions. Okay,
Yes,
one just now you said only our act will be punished during the Kali Yuga, but actually from all my readings in other scriptures, it says that our thoughts, words, and deeds must be aligned. That means it all comes from the thoughts. So although we think, hello.
you have to
Uh,
repeat, Mataji. It was noisy. Sorry. Repeat, Mataji.
okay, no, from my readings in other scriptures, it is mentioned that everything begins from the thoughts. So our thoughts, words, and deeds must be aligned. So when our thoughts is negative, and although we didn't perform it, but still we are having the bad thoughts, So we some or other we will carry the karma for having the bad thoughts because
Mm.
it is all originating from the thoughts. So
Mm.
just now you were telling that in Kali Yuga, only when we perform the act, then only it is considered sinful. But actually, it contradicting with all the other scriptures whereby they say that everything originates from the thoughts, words, and deeds. Could you
Yeah,
explain that, Mataji?
because you mentioned it originates, right? You didn't say
Yeah,
the thought itself is karmic, right?
the thoughts is a karmic, Mataji, because
Is that how you read? Is it?
it is because everything coming from the thoughts. So when our thoughts is negative, although we didn't perform it, it still we are having a bad thoughts, right? So that we still were having some kind of karmic action because of the thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Karma is work, action.
Yes. Yes,
Okay?
action. Yes.
Action leads to reaction. Okay? Not
Yes.
not thought leads to reaction. For example, let me today I visualize I'm killing this person. So am I entitled to the karmic reaction, Mataji? Or
Actually,
am I entitled to the karmic reaction only when I kill the person?
no, I mean the karmic is, you see, there are two different karmic here. One is even when you have the bad thoughts, you going to get the bad karma, but maybe the degree of action will be degree of your karmic action won't be very severe because you didn't perform the act. But then the karmic action definitely will be there because you are having bad thoughts. Because everything
That is because eventually, if you keep contemplating on it, it will manifest. So that way, the karmic reaction will take shape. Right, Mataji? I think it works like that. Just by you think, because like that, Mataji, we are thinking a lot of bad things. So I don't think the karmic reaction is on us just because we have these negative thoughts. Only when we keep contemplating on that and then we manifest it in real, then we get the karmic reaction.
Mataji, that's why they said we shouldn't even have the bad thoughts. We should eliminate
Yes,
the
correct,
negative
correct.
thoughts.
That's why I was telling Jagadish Mataji just now. So, because we are coming from so many millions of species of life, we are carrying so many kind of consciousness. It's highly impossible that we have all the while positive thoughts. But what we can do is with our intelligence, we cut off that. Oh no, you should not think like that. This is a very good person. You shouldn't think like that. So it's a constant battle. The body itself is a Kurukshetra, field of Kurukshetra. We are having a battle. So no, you shouldn't think like that. So that's how we are using our intelligence to transcend our limited, conditioned minds. So, but we cannot say that we cannot have the. I mean, it is good that if we have 100% pure thoughts, but is that really possible? But
Yeah,
what is possible is we can overcome that. We have to transcend that. That's
okay,
what I am trying to say.
that part I agree, Mataji. But when you say that only in Kali Yuga, when we perform it, then only we will get the bad action, a bad karma. I think that part, I somehow rather I disagree because I feel that even the thoughts do carry some kind of karmic action, karmic results in the future.
Can you share with me where you read it? Maybe I can get it, clarified if it's really that way. Maybe I'm wrong. I can check. We can
No,
clarify
because
this.
the
Which
words
scripture is that, Mataji?
I can't because I always read here and there. But what I feel that
Ah,
the
no, Mataji.
the
Sometimes when we read, right, like we always want to quote which scripture, which chapter, which verse. So it will be good like that, Mataji, if we can
can't
quote like.
remember myself. I can't remember, but then I'm very certain that our thoughts, words, and deeds is all leads to karmic action. That
Deeds,
one I'm
yes.
very
Deeds,
certain.
yes. But thought, I don't think so. Like you said, it has certain degree of communication. Also, I've never come across that. Yeah.
Okay, never mind, Mataji. Okay, one more question. Like just now
Yeah.
you mentioned, right, during the class, you mentioned that our what is that? Our pure devotional service, it will free us from our karma. So how could we measure how much we have done our pure devotional action and how we can be free? How to measure this kind of thing? It's very subjective, right, Mataji?
Yes.
So how will we know in our lifetime? Is it enough that I've done enough, or how will that's my question.
Yes, a good question, Mataji. Hmm. Pure devotional service, huh? Like we do everything 24 hours, 7, we are in the thoughts of Krishna conscious. That is pure devotion. So that is the first level that Krishna says, this person is the dearest to me. But if you can't have pure devotion service, then you can work in Krishna consciousness. If you can't do that, then you surrender your result. If you can't do that, all the 6 steps. So that is the first one. So those are people like King Ambarisha. He was a king, right? But he engaged all his senses on daily basis in serving Krishna. Eyes in seeing the Lord, hands in cleaning the temple, legs walking to the temple, hearing, tasting, smelling, all that, Mataji. So that is pure devotional service.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for sharing beautiful stories today. I
Thank you,
really gained
Mataji.
so much knowledge. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. Good night. Jai Shankar Mataji, you still want me to address your question? You are there?
Yeah, I'm here, but it's
Okay.
okay maybe some other time because I think you need to leave also, right?
Let me see, Mataji. Vaikuntha is supposed to be place for people who have done good deeds or good karma. How then in this case it is fair for Ajamila to go to Vaikuntha? Yeah, you were there throughout the class, Mataji?
Yes, I was.
Yeah,
And I'm
because
still here. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
because the Vishnu Dutta said because that effect of his pure chanting, he was so helpless and he called out Narayana. So that way the Vishnu Duttas mentioned that so this way he will not go to Yamaraj.
Yeah.
And at the end, because the rest of his life he performed devotional services, so that's how the Vishnu Dutas came and took him to Vaikuntha.
Yeah. So, does it like, is it saying that at the end of the day, having done sinful activities by just chanting at the
In
towards
pure
the end of the life
consciousness.
or on the deathbed, then we should be attaining the Vaikuntha as well?
Yeah, it's possible. At the consciousness must be right. Is
Mm-hmm.
fully helpless, fully exclusively devotional. Yes.
Okay. No, the
I'm
reason I
not guaranteeing it, but
yeah.
based on the explanation the Vishnu Dutta said, yes, even Yamaraj also said.
Yeah, because there were a number of people listening to this today in my house, and they were all talking
Hmm.
about it. So I said, okay, I'll seek an explanation from the Mataji,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, can Mataji, because Ajamila also he didn't die immediately just because he said Narayana he didn't go to Vaikuntha, isn't it? He still lived on to perform some devotional activities. So this way he actually renounced his family, even the dearest child Narayana. He went to perform his devotion service. So like my Guru Maharaj said that the pure devotion service can burn your karmas. That
Mm,
guarantee,
yeah,
yes.
that's what I told them. Then I also added something. I put it
Mhm.
as a joke. I said, anyway, Ajamila gave her life for a woman instead of being a prostitute. He gave the woman a life and made her conceive 10 children. So they
But
just
he
laughed and went
abandoned
up.
his wife and parents. Not so nice lah.
Exactly. All right. Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay, Mataji.
Bye
Hare
bye.
Krishna.
Bye
Bye
bye.
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 Hare Krishna, Sobita Mataji. Mataji, let me know bila mau transfer. Okay, Mataji. All right. Good night. Hare Krishna.